Hey, all right, looking back at Washington State, it was a big win for us. Really proud of our guys. They found a way to win. Like I said earlier, my biggest question was how we're going to deal with adversity. And we had quite a bit of it, on both sides of the football, but they overcame it. Also it gave us a chance to see where we're at as a team. And that was a big question for me going into this game and our coaches. And we got a lot of work to do. And we know that, and our players know that. But the good thing is most of the things that we saw are correctable. We're playing a bunch of young, inexperienced guys, and they'll have a chance to improve. I've been saying our goal is real simple. It's to improve each practice and each game, and so we're gonna hold true to that, and I believe we can definitely do that. Moving on to Arkansas State. They got a 9-game winning streak, one of the hottest teams in college football. They know how to win, and they expect to win. Offensively, have a lot of playmakers that can, make big plays either in space or the deep ball. Defensively, a lot of playmakers too. A lot of experience back on both sides of the football. The bottom line is we're going to have to play better than we did Saturday to beat them.
Question?
Gus, knowing those kids like you know them, what kind of effort do you expect them to bring when they come into your camp?
Well, there are a lot of winners. I mean, they're winners. They're going to play hard. They're going to play together, and they'll be disciplined.
What's it going to be like for you to go against that team?
Well, personally, I care greatly for a lot of their players. Their administration was great to me while I was there. It was a very good experience, and very grateful for the opportunity they gave me. Professionally, you've got to flip the switch. I mean, once the game starts, you do everything in your power to help your team win, and we'll definitely do that.
What does JD stick out when you guys watch film? Obviously very familiar with him, but
JD's a phenomenal player. He's great with the ball in his hands. He's a receiver, has running back skills, and big time playmaker.
Gus, when you go back and look at the film from Saturday's game, what sticks out to you the most? You said a lot of the mistakes are correctable, but what did you focus on the most?
Yeah, it was just taking offensively. The thing about an offense is all 11 guys have to be doing their job, or it gets pretty ugly. And most of our plays that we didn't execute, it was 1 or 2 guys, but it still makes everything look really bad. So I believe we'll have a chance to get better and improve in that area. Defensively, I think it's kind of the same thing. 1 or 2 mistakes makes everybody, you look different. But I'm going to tell you this too. A lot of that first game was about evaluation for us. We learned a lot, about our players. We thought we had ideas about certain things, and some things were exactly what we thought, and some things were a little bit different.
Specifically about Nick, what did you see?
Well, we tried to get him off to a good start. I mean, he had jitters, there's no doubt, and that's to be expected. To come in and play quarterback and everything, and he started settling down towards the end of the game, and I think that'll help him moving forward.
How did he grade out, Gus?
It's pretty average. Our expectations. He's only been here, I guess 4 weeks, but still our expectations are high. The number one thing he did is protect football, and that can't go overlooked.
Gus, he had one of the worst productive performances for any quarterback ever in your system. What do you want to see him change immediately this week?
Well, we're going to try to improve in every area. In his defense now, I've never had a quarterback that didn't go through spring. And, there was a couple drops and some things that didn't happen, but, he found a way to win, and he's 1-0 as a starter.
Gus, he was kind of a reckless maverick, really, in junior college. He did a lot of crazy stuff. A lot of it worked, some of it didn't. You just kind of play him very conservatively in that first game. Is that what you were trying to do?
I think the biggest thing for us is try not to put him in bad situations where we turn the football over. That's the number one thing. And we're learning Nick as we go too. I mean, we're learning, what he's comfortable with, what he's not comfortable with, how he reacts to certain situations. And so each game, our comfort zone will get better and better.
Gus, how much of the playbook was actually at Nick's disposal in that first game? How much?
In first games, my big thing is you got to be able to adjust in first games, because you think you know how they're going to play, and then you get out there and it's usually a little bit different. And we're just not to that point where we can have our whole playbook to adjust. Okay, now we'll get there. But, you know, we got a plan, and you take it in, and you have tweaks off of it. But each week, you know, we'll add more stuff and get more comfortable.
Gus, you rarely snap the ball within 5 seconds, which is one of the basic tenets and principles of your system. Was that, how much of that was by design, and how much of that was you adjusting?
There was a little bit of everything as far as that goes. You know, there was some adjusting. There was some of our guys, you know, and our quarterback and things that go with that. So the pace will definitely pick up each game.
Montravius had a great debut there. You see him challenging for more playing time and maybe a starting spot here.
Yeah, I think not only him, but other guys. I said we learned a lot about our guys, how they react, and the guys that make plays, you know, you'll see on the field more.
Gus, who were some of those guys that maybe didn't start Saturday, but that impressed you enough to maybe push for?
Yeah, well, Montravius was one of them. I mean, there's no doubt. I thought our secondary overall really played well, and you know, they played specifically man in the second half against some pretty good receivers, and I thought they did a good job. Trevon Reed, I felt like he probably graded out as high as anybody. Didn't have a whole lot of snaps, but he'll have more. He did a lot of things right.
Can you talk about Corey a little bit, just what he showed out there and having that as a weapon?
Well, Corey's got real speed. I think that's evident when you see that. He's very strong. I mean, he can break a tackle too. He really impressed me. I mean, I was here before and I knew what he could do. He wasn't eligible that year. You saw him on the scout team, but he's got a chance to really help us.
How do you work those three? Is that something that you own with a plan, or is it just a feeling during the game, or how do you work those?
Well, you know, in our offense, we try to ask guys to do what they're good at, and you know, to have 3 different type backs gives us a lot of versatility. You know, at times you'll see more of them on the field at the same time, stuff like that, but it gives us a lot of versatility.
Gus Ellis in his career, he's been a lot of zone, he's been a zone guy for the most part. Obviously, you guys had some success with man the other day. Can he kind of reinvent himself as a man coordinator now?
Well, you know, like I've said before, he's one of the best in the business at adjusting. And, you know, I think, you know, we started out doing quite a bit of zone, a little bit of man, and then he adjusted and manned them up, and I think held them 3 points second half, a pretty good offense.
How concerning is the linebacker spot right now? Ellis seemed to have some concerns there.
Yeah, you know, it'll be a little more evident, and we'll learn a lot more against more of a running team. You know, sometimes when teams pass the ball as much as they do, it takes the linebackers kind of out of the game. But I think we'll learn more as we go, the more we face running teams.
Because you talk about injuries, Justin Garrett, D Ford, updates on those. Any
Yeah, Justin Garrett and D Ford both practiced last night, and so we'll see what happens.
You think they'll be able to play Saturday?
We're hoping.
You spoke a lot about Marcus Davis last week. You were at both. He really didn't factor into the game.
Yeah, didn't get a whole lot of reps, but when he did, he did very well. So you can definitely see more of him.
I'll say CJ and Jay were some of your bigger playmakers returning in that offense. Neither one had anything in the book. Obviously, I think CJ got a couple of targets early and then nothing. So was that just a way of the offense kind of maturing, or what?
Yeah, a little bit of both. Both those guys are capable of making plays, and they will, you know, as the season goes on.